Hello everybody, and thank you for tuning in to Nizzy's Sports Chat. I am your host, Nizzy, and in this video we're just going to be doing a mock draft of the top 10 picks coming up in the 2021 NFL Draft, seeing as we are 1 week out from draft day. Super excited, you guys. I'm a Packers fan, so we're a little bit later in the first round. I don't know if we're going to do any trade-ups or anything like that, but nonetheless, I just wanted to start off with the top 10 picks and kind of give you guys my mock draft on who I think these teams will be taking. So, once again, guys, this will be NFL mock draft for the top 10 draft picks coming up next week. So, obviously, pretty simple on the first two here. We already know Trevor Lawrence is going to be going to the Jags unless some crazy instance happens. I know he kind of hurt his draft stock the tiniest bit, saying that the end-all, be-all for him is not a Super Bowl, and he doesn't have that proverbial chip on his shoulder like some of the other guys coming into the league. Nonetheless, I think he's going to be a pretty good quarterback. I don't think he's going to be as good as some of the other guys in the class. I think Zach Wilson and Trey Lance are going to be the top dudes in this class. I just like what they bring to the table. Don't turn the ball over too much. Got high IQ, good leaders. But I still think Trevor Lawrence can have a nice career. We'll see what happens with him. But obviously the Jags are going to take him first overall. Number 2, I got the Jets taking Zach Wilson, which is really no surprise. I think we all knew the Jets are planning on taking him, especially after they trade Sam Darnold over to the Carolina Panthers. So that's just paving the way for them to take a quarterback, obviously, now that they don't have one. Seems like any person I've listened to, any NFL insider I've listened to, has said Zach Wilson to the Jets. Haven't heard anyone else going to the Jets other than Zach Wilson, so I'd be shocked if they take somebody else. And then the next one for the 49ers, picking 3rd overall. They traded up to get that 3rd overall pick this year. Now this one's a tough one, you guys, because there's a lot of options here. I don't even think the 49ers know what they want to take. There's been talks of them picking Mac Jones. There's been talks of them picking Trey Lance. There's been talks of them taking Justin Fields. There's been talks of them trading back or trading for a different quarterback for the 3rd overall pick there. So it's tough to say what they're going to do. Personally, I think they're going to take Trey Lance. I think he has the most upside out of any quarterback in this draft. The guy barely turned the ball over when he played. Just a great leader. He's also really young still. I think he's only 22 years old. So still has some time to develop. And I think that fits right into what the 49ers want to do, because they still have Jimmy G under contract. I know if you guys remember the press conference they did with Kyle Shanahan there, and he had mentioned that they kind of want to keep Jimmy G around just to kind of have their new quarterback learn from him. So I think Trey Lance would be a great choice for them, because they don't have to rush him into a starting role right away, unless he's hands down, head over heels better than Jimmy G, right? But I would see that would be a nice pickup for them, because then they can still roll with Jimmy G this year, especially because he knows the offense very well and everything like that. And then, you know, as Trey Lance progresses, it could be a very similar situation to what Kansas City ended up doing when they took Mahomes. And then basically he sat behind Alex Smith for that 1 year, got to play, I think, 1 game in garbage time at the end of the season, which he did really well on. And then they decided to move off Alex Smith the next season. I could see that very possibly happening for Trey Lance and the 49ers. So that's who I think they're going to take. Obviously, it's up in the air still. You never know. They could end up going with Mac Jones or Justin Fields as well. And then at the number 4 spot, Atlanta. I actually think that's where Justin Fields is going to go. I think Atlanta is going to take their quarterback of the future. I think Justin Fields would be a good pick for them, especially because he is a Georgia boy. And then he's not rushed into it having to start right away. I think he could still use, another year or 2 of developmental time under a good quarterback who knows the league really well and who's had a lot of success in the league. So I think it would really help him out a lot if he could study under Matt Ryan for a year or 2. And then he gets to play in his home state of Georgia, get to play for the Atlanta Falcons. So that's where I think they're going to go. I think they're going to draft their QB of the future and not force him into it and just have him start behind Matt Ryan. Kind of like what the Packers did last year with Jordan Love, just picking a little bit earlier, obviously. And then in the number 5 slot, we got Cincinnati. And I think they're going offensive tackle, man. I think they're taking the big boy Penei Sewell out of Oregon. Don't really see another option for them right now. I mean, maybe they take Kyle Pitts, maybe they trade down. But I think Penei Sewell's a lock for these guys, especially Joe Burrow needs some help on that O-line, man. If you don't keep that guy standing upright, his career is going to be shortened. or he's just not going to want to sign with you guys because he can't stay healthy because he doesn't have an O-line in front of him. So to me, the biggest thing they got to fix is that offensive line. I would not be surprised even if they go first round and second round offensive linemen. They need bad help on that O-line, and just might as well beef it right up so Joe Burrow's got ultimate protection. Because if you don't got protection and you can't stand in the pocket for longer than a couple seconds, you ain't going to be able to wait for those wide receivers and tight ends to get open anyways. And they got a nice wide receiver room. I think they took, T. Higgins last year. They still got Boyd, a couple other guys. A.J. Green's gone now, but they had a nice young receiving core anyway. They got Joe Mixon, who's a great running back as well. So they already got nice talent around Joe Burrow. They just need that offensive line bolstered up, which will help their run game, which in turn will help the play action, which in turn is going to help Joe Burrow succeed. So that's what I see for the Bengals, taking Penei Sewell at tackle. Miami is next on the list there. I think they're going to go Kyle Pitts, man. I mean, he's just sitting there waiting for him. Some of the other teams I'm sure would love him, but they need other needs addressed, especially these top three teams. They're like Atlanta possibly could take Kyle Pitts. I think they're going to go for the future. But Miami, I think, definitely will take Kyle Pitts if he falls to them at number 6. It's a no-brainer, really. Really would help Tua, especially having that big-bodied guy on the inside. He can run any type of route, can play as a wideout, slot receiver, tight end. You know, the guy can do it all. So I think that'd be a great pickup to help Tua progress within the offense on that team. And it's a deep draft for offensive linemen, so you could always go in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round and get a nice quality offensive lineman to help keep Tua standing upright as well. So I think they're going to go Kyle Pitts, tight end, at number 6 for Miami. And then we got Detroit coming in at number 7. I think they're going to go and give a little help for their new quarterback, Jared Goff, and I think they're going to go ahead and take Jamar Chase at wide receiver. I think it's going to be a nice pickup for them, especially because Kenny Golladay is gone now. So they're going to need to replenish that wide receiver core a little bit. Jamar Chase is a great starting point for them. It gives a nice target for Jared Goff on the outside there. So I think that'd be a nice formidable pick for them. They need to start rebuilding their wide receiver talent. So I see Jamar Chase going number 7 to Detroit. Carolina's next, Carolina Panthers. Now this was a tough one for me because they need a few different things. They need offensive tackle really bad. Mike linebacker they need. So I actually got them taking a Mike linebacker, Micah Parsons. I think this will be a really nice fit for them. He's basically a Mike linebacker that can do it all. And especially after Carolina had the unexpected retirement of Luke Kuechly a couple of years ago, they never really had a linebacker that can fill the shoes of him yet. I think Micah Parsons would be well on his way to being able to do that and just kind of re-solidify that middle linebacker position for them, which they need pretty desperately this year to be able to just solidify the core of that defense. So Micah Parsons I got going number 8 to Carolina. Denver. Now this was a tough one too because there's possibility that Denver trades up, goes for another quarterback. I don't see it happening. I mean, you haven't really given Drew Lock that much of a chance. He's had 2 seasons with them, had a few injuries. The team's been in kind of a rebuild mode. I would like to see him get another chance here. Give him another year. At least he's still on his rookie contract, so there's no need to rush him out and then get another guy in. You might as well ride it out on the rookie contract and see if this guy can progress and get better. He has potential. He's got a nice deep ball. He's just got to really stop taking too many chances. He throws a lot of deep balls just not knowing if it's even going to be completed, just kind of hucking a prayer up there where he got intercepted a lot last year doing that. So if he can just kind of control his ball placement a little better and not take so much risky throws down the field, I think he can have a lot better season. So I think they're going to give him some help with the offensive line. I think they're going to select Christian Darrisaw, offensive lineman, just to give him a little bit of help, keep him upright. And it just never hurts to have more than enough offensive linemen, you guys. So that's where I think Denver's going to go. Just give their quarterback a little bit of help there to be able to stand in the pocket a little bit longer and be able to find his targets downfield. Because they got a nice wide receiver core. So that's where I think Denver's going to go. Offensive line, Christian Darrisaw. And then Dallas in at number 10. I'm sure most of you are agreeing with me on this one. I think they're going Patrick Surtain at cornerback. He's the number 1 cornerback rated in this draft this year. The guy can do it all. Probably one of the highest IQs out of any position in the draft this year. Very high IQ guy. Knows his position like the back of his hand. Knows exactly where he needs to be on the field, what to do. He's a shutdown style corner. Just a great talent. and I expect Dallas to take him, especially they need some really bad defensive help. I mean, last year they were atrocious defensively. And they did get Diggs there, the other cornerback they drafted last year, Trevon Diggs. He was a really nice, promising prospect for them last year, and I think he can take another step in the right direction. He's got that dog mentality, which is no surprise. He's brother of Stefon Diggs, who is just a beast of a wide receiver. So I expect Trevon just to keep progressing, and then to add Patrick Surtain as his running mate on the other side there and have those as your 1-2 punch at cornerback would really help the Cowboys. So that's where I think they're going to go. I'd be shocked if they try and trade up to go. I heard there's talks of Jerry Jones wanting to trade up for Kyle Pitts, but I think that's a terrible... I hope it happens. I'm not a Cowboy fan, so I think if they trade up for Kyle Pitts, it's going to just destroy them this year. I don't think they'll be very good, honestly. They already have so much talent with their wide receiver core. They got a good running back core, good offensive line, good quarterback. Like, they really don't need a lot of offensive help. If anything, they could use a couple more O-linemen just because they've been dealing with those injuries on the offensive line. But other than that, man, they are stacked at wide receiver. Absolutely stacked. And they got pretty nice tight end room as well. So I really don't see Dallas trying to trade up for Kyle Pitts. I think they should sit tight, get Patrick Surtain, help rebuild that defense, really focus this draft on their defense. And if they can become a defensive juggernaut this year and get back on track, their offense will help immensely, especially with having Dak back. They have a great offense. That's not their concern. Their concern is they can't stop anyone. And then their offense is trying to come back from 30 down every game. So, which is not realistic. So that's my top 10, you guys. The top 10 picks who I think. So once again, we'll just rehash it real quick. We got Trevor Lawrence going to the Jags, number 1. Zach Wilson going to the Jets at number 2. We got 49ers taking Trey Lance at number 3, which I think he's going to back up behind Jimmy Garoppolo for a year or two just to get some study time under him. And then Atlanta, we're going to go Justin Fields, heading back to Georgia, his home state. And then the Bengals, I think, are going to go O-tackle with Penei Sewell. Miami then will be available to take Kyle Pitts. Detroit is going to go get some wide receiver help for Goff and take Jamar Chase. Carolina is going to recertify that middle linebacking core with Micah Parsons. And then Denver will take Christian Darrisaw, give a little offensive line help for Drew Lock. And then, of course, Dallas with Patrick Surtain to get some back-end help at the cornerback position. So that's it, you guys. That's my mock draft of the top 10 picks for the NFL coming up. Here, the draft is next week on Thursday. It starts. I'm going to try and do a live stream. I've never done a live stream before on YouTube, so it's going to be my first time. Going to give her a shot anyways, though, just to give a live reaction and analysis of all the draft picks going on in the first round. We'll see what the Packers end up doing with the 29th overall. I did a video already on who I think they might take. I see them maybe taking Tevin Jenkins, offensive tackle, or maybe going in for a cornerback or something. They love to do second round wideouts, so I would expect them to take a wide receiver in the second round, not the first round. But you never know. We'll see what happens. But anyways, guys, that's my mock draft for the top 10. Once again, thank you guys for watching. Yeah, drop a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys think, who will be picked first overall, 1 through 10. And once again, this is Nizzy with Nizzy Sports Chat signing off. I appreciate you guys watching. Peace.